block shots and come away with some steals. So it's a little bit, off right now. But then again, we lost a key player last year, D'Angelo Russell, because he went out
Yeah.
west. And I thought that was going to be a bit of a factor this year and how we're going to do. I think, his absence is hurting us a bit. So, that could be another reason for the downward trend, which didn't surprise me, though, because I thought, when I first heard about the trade, I'm like, uh-oh, we're losing our best player. Now what? So,
Oh, well.
even though it's only the season, but they got some work to do, and I just hope they can find a way around it. Because,
Well,
I'm not expecting them to go high in the standings. If they get the playoffs, I think it's going to be like a very low 8th seed if they get there.
Well, the Knicks are actually a garbage fire anyway. I mean, the Knicks are actually a dumpster fire anyway, so it really doesn't really matter. I mean, the thing about it is also, just remember, it actually goes up to Dolan anyway. So, and especially with that head coach. But I mean, the Knicks are just going to be a joke this year, like these guys have been having like every single year. But with the Nets, the Nets are going to do well as well too, especially hopefully if KD comes back here. I understand, Kyrie Irving's been doing the job, but there's a lot of guys like Joel Harris, guys like DeAndre Jordan, and the guys like Dinwiddie or something. They got to wake up. They got to wake up here because although they beat Houston by 7 the other night, although they did lose to Detroit, but you know what? They gotta. If they want to do well, if they want to do well in November, they got to start winning some games now instead of instead of waiting until right by the All-Star break.
Yeah,
And the thing is, the big, so sorry to interrupt. I mean, the big question that came off of my mind, if we're talking about the Brooklyn Nets and where they're going to be exactly in the playoff picture, if we're going to cut talent this early, how are they going to beat the 76ers is something I keep wondering. Every time I look up the DraftKings live app, those players on the 76ers, they always score the big numbers between Embiid and then Toronto's still got a very good team too. So for the Nets, I feel like pretty soon they're gonna look at the schedule and they're gonna wonder, oh, we got to get over this hump. We got to get over this hump. It's one thing to say the West Coast, the Western Conference has all the good teams, but then you got to look at the Eastern Conference. I think they are catching up. And the Nets, they have the excellent players behind them, and can Kyrie really carry them? And I know Lou's definitely not in the camp. I'm not in the camp that a one man can carry in any team. We've seen it with LeBron. He's done pretty well himself, but where's Kyrie fit in? So what can we expect from them? I honestly be shocked if the Nets win this division.
What I mean, look at the West, how they're falling apart. Some of these teams. I mean, look at Golden State there. I mean, Klay Thompson on whatever leave for a year, and then you have a few of the players down, and Steph Curry being one of them for 3 months. What a shocker!
Yeah,
he was on my fantasy football.
Oh yeah, he was. Well, I still have the stomach around the Paul George ordeal, but there you go. Yeah, the West Coast. I'm still a big hype on the West Coast teams. If you do play the daily fantasy, if you want to hazard around yourself, I wouldn't be surprised if you pick a lot of West Coast teams. But I was really shocked that Miami had a good start this year as well. That may be something we'll figure out if Brooklyn and New York have to face that. And a question for you guys. Fizdale, the coach, what's his future going to be like? Is he already on the hot seat? The coach for the New York Knicks, David Fizdale, is he going to be worried right now?
Yeah, I think he should. Yes, but
I don't think so. I don't think he's on the hot seat right now. Give him like another two more months or so, and maybe he'll be on the hot seat. But not now. No.
You don't think so? Okay.
No, not yet. Maybe wait till like December.
Okay, look. I'm gonna go back to Cavaliers again. Okay,
Sure.
Look at how'd you put it, Coach? Forget his name. Block. I mean, the team was doing real good, and then he got fired. Go figure. Nobody understood that. Although we all have ideas. LeBron's doing.
Oh, Tyronn Lue.
Oh, the other one.
Okay, okay. The other one.
David Blatt.
Right?
Yeah,
Oh, Blatt.
he was a
Yes,
great
sure,
coach.
Blatt.
I
Definitely.
He was a
apologize for
great
saying it
coach
wrong.
too. Great
Now
coach.
that was a shock. He was doing well. So I believe any coach could be on the hot spot at any time. Just seeing that with him. I'm just saying that's all.
He got a raw deal.
Yeah.
I remember when he got fired, I'm like, you fired? Why would you fire him? You were doing well. You were in first place in the division, and you fire
Yes.
him? I mean, wait,
Eric,
what? Was
I
this
think
just
on
me?
him too. Yeah. What the hell? I mean, what the heck, you know? That's my potty mouth.
Well,
Just
you got yourself two parts of the shores of Lake Erie. We got the we got the guys at Cleveland. And then we got the owners of the Knicks. I mean, I don't know what makes for a better reality show. I mean, but I'm very fascinated to see what's gonna go on with the Cleveland side of things. They might shock me. They might.
well, the Cavaliers might. Another rumor going around with Coach, what's his name? Coach Higgins or Coach. Oh my God, the Browns coach.
Right.
Worm rumor is he
Yeah.
should be fired.
Freddie
You know?
Kitchens.
Thank you.
Right.
'Cause like I said, I believe no matter what team anybody can be. Everybody should be watching their P's and Q's.
Yeah. Well, not for nothing though, but I think Cleveland got a little bit too much hype in the offseason. I mean, they
Yep, we did.
was thinking like, oh, they should be a run to make maybe win the division and get a wild card spot. They've been anything but spectacular this year, and of course, Mayfield. Well, he hasn't been. He's credited to be either.
I have to admit, I'm not a Cleveland Browns fan, a huge one, but I was rooting for them, and I was hyped up on the people we got. I said we have to watch them. I mean, I predicted 8-8. Well, no 8-8 for us.
Well,
I predicted better than 8-8. Go ahead, Eric.
well, here's the situation over here as well, because here's the thing as well too, and I don't know if you're watching the closing seconds of the Denver Cleveland game last night, or I'm
Yes.
sorry, yesterday, and it was Odell Beckham over there on the sidelines, so mad at himself because he hasn't up been touching the ball yet, and Mayfield or so he's just like running around like an scapegoat. And he hasn't done absolutely nothing this year. And then besides, it's like, how in the world can you? It's like the thing is, it's like, how in the world can you have, like a team that's supposed to win your division for the NFC North, and now you're 2-6 after yesterday's loss to Denver. And I mean, for goodness sakes, Baker Mayfield got to wake up. So does Jarvis Landry. I understand he scored that touchdown, but get Odell Beckham in charge or so, and Bradley Chubb as well too. Get him more involved more in the offense as well too.
Right.
Get him more involved.
Yeah, you guys think you guys are irritated enough. I have Baker Mayfield on my $50 fantasy team. It's definitely not panning out very well at all. I can only think about how frustrating it is. I can only imagine how mad everyone else is over there. They're definitely underperformed. They're probably one of my negative surprises of the year in terms of all the NFL. And the Bengals are up there. The Jets definitely up there. We have to consider the Browns now, even though I know they've beaten the Jets earlier this year. It's just crazy just to think about it the whole way. I definitely did not see it coming, and it is what it is. That's just the cost of betting on sports. Sometimes it goes your way, and this is one prediction that did not pan out very well. But who's going to feel the heat more? I still think it's on Baker Mayfield. I think Odell Beckham, well, everyone's gonna see him catch something crazy, and everyone's gonna forget about him. Baker is really going to be something else. I really didn't think he lacked the sense that he did this year. He still has a ways to go in terms of just developing the skill set that a big quarterback, a competent elite quarterback needs. Can we consider him elite?
Well, in Cleveland, on the other hand, we have all these other teams, but this is a Cleveland Browns football town, very much. They'll root for them like when people root for them with their 1-0 games. That's happened before recently. It's an all round. It's more popular than any sport in this town. You could have if you go on. I don't know if you saw. This is true though by Bruce Wood. he has these little things on. He's a big Tribe person, okay? For instance, when the Tribe did well this season, yeah, all they focus on Browns losing the game. What was that all about? You know what I'm saying? You're laughing. Someone's laughing at me. Well, it's true.
Now, here's my situation about Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is not ready to be a primetime quarterback yet. He hasn't really shown his stuff since he's been in Oklahoma, since he was in college.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's like the thing is, it's like the same situation as Sam Darnold. It's like when he was in USC or so, he was not the best quarterback in USC, and now he's thrown like over like 6 picks in the past 3 weeks, and he hasn't done absolutely nothing. And Le'Veon Bell hasn't done nothing either. I mean, for goodness sakes! I mean, and now I'm hearing the stuff about Adam Gase going to get fired from the Jets because he hasn't done absolutely nothing. And what is 17 losing to an 0-17 before unreal? You know, come on, losing to the Dolphins for some reason or so. But come on, it's like, you know, I know I'm hearing a lot of Jets, and you know, and the thing about it is also because I'm in a lot of Jets groups, and a lot of Jets groups are saying right now, fire Adam Gase.
mm-hmm.
And the guy that actually took over, and the guy that was the defensive coordinator was actually the Browns coach last year, Greg Williams. Let him take care of the business this year for the Jets or so. Let's see if he can pan out or so. These are the teams that we should be beating. The Dolphins, the Jaguars or so. We should beat some of these teams. But no, I mean, the thing is, it's like Darnold is not a good quality quarterback. I'm sorry to say, but you know, I was so mad. I was so mad when he got picked in the draft last year. I was like, why in the world would you pick this guy or so? I would love to have either Baker Mayfield or so, but now looks like we might have somebody from Alabama named Tua. So we don't know. It's like the thing is, it's like, you know, Darnold might not be the answer in New York right now or so. And especially with Cincinnati, Dalton's not the answer either. And I'm hearing now that Andy Dalton's going to be sitting down for the rest of maybe for the next couple of games.
Well,
Yeah, he's done. Yeah, Dalton's done at Cincinnati. He hasn't done anything and he hasn't. And that team, of course, just seems to get worse every year. I mean, his time, you know, was up a long time ago, and I'm glad they finally decided, you know, he's going to be benched. He should have been benched a long time ago. No offense to the Bengals fans.
it is what it is.
Defensive fantasy output. You know, I know this year, yeah, no doubt. I mean, the ship has sailed with them, with Cincinnati. I had to play the guy who had Andy Dalton on his lineup, and he's still going to beat me nevertheless. But you know what Lou and Eric were steaming about on the Hand Sports Show? I think it was Saturday or last Saturday. That trade deadline deal. What the heck were the Giants and Jets thinking? I'm still trying to mull over exactly what it is. I know Lou definitely has more feelings about that trade.
Who said they were thinking?
Were they?
You're right.
I've said this on my show, and I'll say it again.
Right? Yeah.
I thought
Trading Leonard Williams to the Giants for a couple draft picks. It's like, come on, we don't need draft picks right now.
A 3rd rounder and a 5th rounder if you're keeping score at home.
We need some veteran leadership on this team. We need some players.
Exactly.
Getting tired of this draft.
Welcome to Cleveland Browns.
Well, I mean, I've seen New York sports from last year. This is par for the course right now. And also, I guess, you know, well, who else was going to trade the Jets or Giants? That's the only thing I could even offer up. And weirdly enough, when I read the headlines, for people who don't know, this is the first time in history the Giants and the Jets agreed on a trade. Oftentimes, they would just sign people in free agency, but this is the first time there was a direct trade involved. I know we're definitely not thinking about that. I'm just shocked in general that, you know, ESPN, funny, they had nothing to talk about the entire day of the trade deadline. All the big moves happened before the day, and that just ruined ESPN's little air, the hot air on their balloon.
Yes.
And I heard the Browns waived somebody today too, didn't they?
Yeah, I read. Yeah, they let. Oh, I forget his name, but yes, they did let go someone today.
I mean,
Yeah.
why would you trade a player from one losing team going to another losing team? That doesn't say much, does it? I
Well,
mean,
from the-
because most of the time they would trade a player to a team that's going to be in maybe playoff contention, not to just send somebody to another dumping ground.
Right. Well, I don't know. Maybe they thought they were going to get something positive or whatever, right?
At the way that both teams are going this season, no.
Oh yeah, the headline is the pathetic one. This is the unfortunate one that made rounds on social media because of a social media tirade. The Browns have waived Jermaine Whitehead. Yeah, he was ranting against the fans who were whining on him for missing tackles. I think that was it. Yeah, it was Jermaine Whitehead.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah, that's unreal.
And the comments were rather offensive too.
Well, that's sports for you. We ridicule it all the time, but that's the reality. It's just awful to hear about. The fans can be this bad. I think if as a player you have to do whatever you can to tune it out. And of course, it's easy for us to say because at Rutgers they're going through another round of the bad PR with the coach letting the players have it. And if you're on the football team, and of course our football team hasn't won once in the conference in the Big Ten. Even the players are tweeting about, well, you think your criticism is helping us fans?
Nope.
Do we care? Oh,
Rutgers, to be honest with you as well too, because they're actually looking for either Shiano or Shiano or somebody else from Tennessee that's going to be taking over that job for next year or so. But Rutgers is now a dumpster fire right about now. They're just garbage. I'm sorry to say about the first college football team right now. So they don't look too hungry right now. They shouldn't even belong in the Big Ten.
see where it goes.
Go independent. That's where you need to go. Because you can't hold a candle to.
Ohio State is awesome this year. They look strong.
I mean,
I think they're probably going to win. They're probably going to win Big Ten title again this year.
Yeah.
I don't even think they've even played the top team at Ohio State or whatever, without having the schedule in front of me. I mean, and they were a dumpster fire, and that was before you had the public relations disaster. Well, the school president is, I think, resigning. He's on his way out, and we don't know what the future of Pat Hobbs is going to be. He was the guy from Seton Hall, came over during the last tumult. It's just ridiculous. It is on and on for Rutgers. I mean, this is what they get for, they put all the eggs in the basket during the Ray Rice era when everything was going well, and they made every bowl game when they were up there on the standings for the Big East, and then they dropped out. And for them to wind up with something like this, I don't know how you're going to get the recruits now. The softball incident, you guys should all Google it on NJ.com. Those softball student athletes who are complaining about their coach, well, how's that going to get the high school recruits going over to them either?
Doesn't make sense.
Oh.
All the times at Rutgers were hyping their football team. And what's their best sports program right now? They got men's wrestling. They got women's soccer. Competitive cheerleading. I mean, come on. Like that's what's the most ironic thing about Rutgers right now. It's so competitive cheerleading. They're getting up there. They go to Disney. The Rutgers teams represent Team USA. That's amazing stuff.
Yes.
I knew a photographer.
Basketball used to be a big legacy as well too, Alan.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Well, see, Vivian Stringer, she was kind of like one of the best coaches around her. So, I mean.
Oh, Hall of Fame nominee. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think she's going to have a draw, too. I know. I kind of wish they would get more, appearances they get more respect out of the NCAA in terms of putting them on the bracket. But absolutely. Yeah, I think that's about all you have. What else do you have?
That's about it.
Yep, absolutely. That's true.
Definitely true.
Well, congratulations to a couple of Indians because a couple of Indians won Golden Gloves.
Wow.
I believe it was Salazar and I believe it was Francisco Lindor.
Okay. Yeah, I
Excellent.
don't-
Yankees and Mets
Very
didn't do
deserving.
nothing this year.
Mhm.
They didn't win any Gold Gloves at all.
Go figure that one. 103 wins, and they can't get a Golden Glove winner. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, you only give out one Golden Glove for each position. It's one of the tougher awards, if you ask me, to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. And you guys, I'm just still steaming. I know I need you guys to reassure me here because I still think the Mets and then their managerial hire. Now we're talking the offseason and the hot stove. I still think them not getting Joe Girardi is gonna bite them. I like the Carlos Beltran story. It's all over my feed. Carlos Beltran, the new manager, and Terry Collins is probably going to be the bench coach. I still think they don't have the edge. I think Girardi and the Phillies have the edge here. I don't know where you guys stand with this.
Hmm.
I was wondering what the Yankees feel about Girardi going to the Phillies. I mean, how they feel about it. He was with it for 10
And
years.
speaking of the Yankees as well too, like speaking of the Yankees as well too, I believe that the Hall of Fame induction, the Hall of Fame class is going to be named on December 8th of this coming next month, and I believe that there's going to be a couple of Yankees that's going to be going in there. It's going to be Thurman Munson and Don Mattingly that's going to be enshrined.
It's gonna be interesting.
It's about time. I mean, he passed away 40 years ago, and they're playing.
Cleveland's own Thurman Munson, by the way.
And it's long overdue.
Hmm.
Playing baseball, even though he never won a World Series, but he was a Yankee legend. And
Absolutely.
as well.
They play-
Here's a debate. I'm sorry. Here's a debate, and I think we should go on for the next 15 minutes or so. And I think that it kind of evolves around kind of like one of the best players of all time. Do you think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame? Yes or no?
Who?
Pete Rose.
Yeah, I think he should. Good. It's a good question. Yeah, why not? I mean, yeah, he's screwed up like everybody else, but how many people are actually out there betting?
Now more than we think.
Not many.
This was
We
at
don't know that.
You gotta remember, this was 30 years ago what he did, and no one was doing what he did, and the baseball purists and all the writers and professionals, they didn't take it very kindly. So, and they're kind of like set in their ways now. As much as I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, I don't think anyone's gonna let him in. I'd like to see it happen though.
Yeah, because you know what? It's like, this is a good, because the reason why I would love to see Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame, it's like, come on, it's like, I understand this happened 30 years ago, but come on, this guy broke records.
Yeah.
Yes.
This guy belongs in the Hall of Fame. It's like, sometimes I don't get Rob Manfred at all for not putting this guy into the Hall of Fame, but still, I mean, put this guy in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I would be shocked if public sentiment completely disagrees. It's the best word to use for this is travesty. That he's not in the Hall of Fame is a travesty, and even that I think is putting it kindly. And to Betty's point, like how do you know no one's been taking bets? How do you know we're in New York City? We're the Wall Street capital of the financial world. They put money wherever they can find a place to put money. But ultimately, yeah. If you want to argue purist, I'm just more fascinated in like what exactly the kind of people that you're gonna consider here in terms of, well, my sentiment. Well, I'm for Pete Rose getting in. Well, what is his offense? Where do we grade the offense relative to where we are now? There are more betting institutions are now that there's legalization, quote unquote. They're getting into the action. So I think where does that turning point come from? Have we crossed the turning point? Is there not a turning point yet in terms of what people think about, well, what Pete Rose did was wrong? It's very fascinating, but even the discussion or no discussion, yes, Pete Rose in my eyes should definitely be in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Alan. That's a very good point right there. That's a very good point right there. And that's something where that I think I think that's the reason why I think Major League Baseball should really take a look at what this guy has done in the past in the past years that he's been playing baseball. So
And
it's
very
like
quickly,
enough of this all enough with all this other stuff or so. Put this man into the whole thing.
And to your point, Eric, is there an agenda? Are there people really dead set against Pete Rose? I might start to believe that. I'm in the middle on this, but I can't help but think, since you brought it up the way you did, are they out for him the whole time? Were they?
I believe it.
They have been out for him since he did it back in 1989 or so. I mean, for goodness sakes, I mean, this guy, it's like, ever since then, I mean, even probably Betty will probably tell you as well too. It's like, it's been, they've been really out for him as well too. I mean, it has been 30 years. It's like, give it up or so and give this man a deserving to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes. I have a feeling he'll be in the Hall of Fame after he dies. I'll put him in. Or is he dead already?
Yeah. Well, I think maybe, the problem is because he did it against his own team, and that's what, the big sticking point I think is there. I think if it was against anybody else, it wouldn't be as, they wouldn't be as harsh about, letting him in the Hall of Fame. But since it was against his own team, I think they're really, sticking to him with that. Okay,
there you go again. How do you know any other coaches or whatever never did that, but didn't really, our players, they never really said anything. They knew how to keep it quiet. We don't know.
Yeah.
Just saying, devil's advocate. That's what I think.
Let's just say he was
I mean, it's like nobody, it's like, just remember, it's like, the thing is that, it's like, we're podcasters. It's like, we don't even know the story. It's like there's all these, like, so many stories that's been going on with this man.
Yeah, that's true. And you research, you do a lot of research to put things together, but what's right, what's not right. So yeah, good point.
Yeah.
And he's gonna say no matter what anyway. So here I go, Mr. Pete Rose. He's gonna say anything anyways. If he did it, he did. If he didn't, he didn't.
That's all.
Right.
And drop the subject. I mean, the media just dropped the subject. Get on with it.
Yeah.
I did read something very fascinating. I believe it was on the SB Nation page of the Brooklyn Nets. Very quickly, since we're trying to round out the show, I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on this. The Nets in the offseason a few months ago hired Turner Sports. TNT is one of their former bosses, David Levy, and now he's working with the front office of the Brooklyn Nets. He wants to integrate some kind of sports betting into what is an experience at the Barclays Center. So what do you guys like? Are you guys surprised like me that it didn't come along sooner enough? I mean, Lou, have you been able to read it? I'll pass along in the chat log. I don't know if you read anything about David Levy.
I heard a little something about it. Not too much stuff, but I don't think I'm too surprised by that at all.
And I don't know if it's going to be beneficial. Again, David Levy, being that he's from the television side, he's more of the sports business kind of guy. He's not really a kind of like a Phil Jackson. Oh, we're going to assign these players. We're going to run these kind of plays kind of guys. So I wanted to ask Eric if you heard about the David Levy headline that, he's helping out the Nets and he's trying to get some sports gambling kind of sports betting props going on at Barclays Center.
I don't think so, because the thing is that it all depends on, like FanDuel and DraftKings and whatever. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's like, especially because, especially because, those two are kind of like one of the best sports betting they could go around with, especially with those two, like DraftKings and FanDuel. But that's mostly about it. But.
And the only reason I bring up the most fascinating headline about, anything sports betting in New York is New York didn't even get combat sports like UFC and MMA happen because of the legislative roadblocks, the political football. And then I think the speaker, Sheldon Silver, one of the key figures in Albany, got had to resign. He got in legal trouble, and all of a sudden, all the UFC guys came on over, and New York stripped down the whole thing. Now they're discussing the sports betting. It's something for you guys just to do your homework, and me to do my extra credit research on for the side, because I don't really think the David Levy headline is going to be significant for how well the Nets are going to do or how badly they're going to do. They are playing right now for a late update just to prove that we were live. The Nets are in a 23-19 lead against the New Orleans Pelicans. Kyrie Irving's got himself 4 points. Nothing really stand out here. 4 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. And Brandon Ingram's got 6 points for the New Orleans Pelicans. It's 23-21 right now as this updates. Close game going on Yes Network and also on your local stations in New Orleans.
So he is playing despite the head injury he received on Saturday night's game.
I believe so.
Yeah, there was questions about that. He had a head injury against the Thunder on Saturday night's game.
Right on.
Obviously, Ingram's doing fine.
All right, it's getting close to 8 o'clock. I want to thank Eric, Lou, and Ellen for being my conspirators in crime here with this podcasting. No, just kidding there, guys. I didn't mean it like that.
Well, it's a pleasure as usual.
It is. It really is. And Breck for working on it with us, and Mark for having a lot of patience with us getting this done. But we did it. Our first show is down. Great job, guys. And we hope as you listen to this, if you listen to this week, I would, just if you have questions or anything, you may go to the Prime. What is that again? Oh God.
Time of the Stables Network.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And we'll have it on the air. Eventually we're going to do well, it's a surprise, I'll tell you. We're gonna do giveaways eventually. Well, good night. And I'll talk to half of you on Friday. Good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Night.
Have an awesome night, everybody. Go
You too.
Giants.
Later, Betty. Thanks again for everything.
You too.
Thanks a lot, Betty.
All right, thanks.